Inclusion, in fact, is something most of us ordinarily understand, and you can know when somebody is having difficulty with the concept when they ask questions like, does inclusion work? Which is sort of like asking whether or not life works. Because in fact, for those without disabilities, most of us, most of the time, are leading inclusive lives without question, and in many ways, often taking it for granted. When those of us without disabilities are actually living an inclusive life, we're typically surrounded by people who have high expectations for us, who have high hopes for us, big dreams, and gradually over time, more and more we're influencing those dreams ourselves. And even though in the course of our life we will have experienced rejection as well as love, we'll experiencing belonging as well as not being included. We'll experience rejection and even, failed relationships, etc., that very few of us, if ever, and say, well, life the way we typically live it doesn't work, and I don't want to live an inclusive life anymore. I prefer, in fact, to be, marginalized or separated. So the reality is that in the context of an inclusive life for the rest of us, we're going to have challenges and even sometimes tragic moments in our lives, but that's what we understand life to be. And in effect, what we're saying is, and this is a critical point, that irrespective of the nature of someone's developmental disabilities, they're as fundamentally, inherently human as the next person. They don't have, they're not differently human. As such, they have the same overarching human need to belong, to be part of family, to have meaning in their lives, to have the opportunity to fall in love, to be wanted, to make a contribution, to be needed. And the way in which that's realized for almost all of us is in living an inclusive life, and that's the same way it can be realized for those with developmental disabilities or intellectual disabilities, regardless of the severity of their disability. They don't become less human because they have a severe disability which makes it difficult for them to communicate or for us to communicate and understand the person easily.